like through effectively. So we're able to understand what they're trying to say to us, and they're able to understand what we're
Are
trying to
any
say to
of your
them.
students nonverbal?
No, we have all verbal. Also, behaviorally too. We don't accept children that are aggressive, either toward others or toward themselves. We just don't have the therapists on board to deal with that. So
So let's go back to, do you have a mission statement? What is the
our
mission of
mission
your
is
academy?
really to provide a academic environment for children with Asperger's syndrome, high functioning autism related disorders, where they have the ability to learn at their they're given the opportunity to learn at their ability level and to be challenged there, and to also be have those social skills and life skills every day, so they can be successful in life someday and be able to be as independent as possible.
Do you expect any of your currently enrolled students to graduate college?
Absolutely. There's some that won't, and there's some that will. Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Where does the school get its funding?
We are self sufficient. We get it through our tuition and through fundraising and through grants.
So, give me an example of a grant you've received.
A grant we received is there's a wonderful organization here in town. It's local. It's by mom and dad of a son with autism. It's called FAST, Finding Autistic Solutions for Tomorrow. And the last 2 years, they have given us $15,000 last year, $10,000 this year that goes toward scholarship programs. There's a lot of families with autism. I think the divorce rate is 85%. So
I
there's
can
a lot
see
of
why.
single parents,
I can see why.
unfortunately, that have their children go to our school. So we're able to offer them partial scholarships, but not full scholarships, and that is where a lot of our scholarship money comes from.
What's your tuition?
Our tuition is $10,500 a school year, and we let the parents divide that into 12 months. We try to make it as affordable as possible. We have a maximum of 10 children in a classroom with a teacher and an aide, and we get a lot of volunteers from the College of Southern Nevada that are going through their teaching or special education certification that come and
And
volunteer at our school.
parents, you get a lot of room moms and stuff like
No,
that too?
we actually don't. I think the room moms are just the parents, which I'm one of those parents too. It's nice just to say, here's my child for the day, and lets them get on with their life too. And I think that's really important about
Mm.
our school. I'm one of those moms, one of those parents that every day when I dropped my son off at school, not this school, of course, the other schools, that had a stomach ache when I would pick him up every day, just knowing that all I would hear was the negative things he did, not what they were doing to help him. And we're the antithesis of that. We want, we're a safe place for these children where they feel comfortable, they make friends here. We give them those tools to be able to develop those friendship skills. And we want to be a place where parents can just drop off their children in the morning, know they are taken care of no matter what they do here, because that's why we're here. I can speak for all the kids that go here. They are all been, they all were treated like a problem at the schools that they came with, and not as a person. And that's really what we do here. They're a person here. They're, we don't see.
They're a person that has some issues, but they're still a
Absolutely.
person.
Excuse me. Um, absolutely. They have such potential that if they're in the right environment, they come into our school with no egos. They come in with no self-esteem. They come in from being bullied. And bullied by children is not physical or verbal. It doesn't have to be that way all the time. It could be intentionally being ignored. My son is one of those children where he went through life until he came here, as far as his academic life, feeling totally invisible. Um, and there he could be talking in a room and nobody even acknowledged him. And it's just really sad. And that's really what we do here. We
And so
give
his behavior was an attempt to get some attention.
attention. He would have rather gotten in trouble, which to him it wasn't getting in trouble, but to do anything to get someone's attention, because he was like
You
he
know,
was invisible. Or he needs something and they're not seeing what he needs. So it's more than just attention. It's also, there's a need there, and they have what they struggle at, what children with autism struggle
is
at.
they're not as verbal and communicative as I am.
They're not able to express how they feel sometimes in words, so it does come out behaviorally. And that's, whether tantrum or something, or talking out. And it's really our job then to find out what they want, what they need, and then to give them those tools to express it properly.
you're about to start an organization, or you just started the Achievement Vocational and Life Skills Academy.
Right.
Please tell us about that.
Well, I'll tell you how it got started. Something I always knew I wanted to do. I always try to stay one step ahead of John Matthew. When he, like I said, when he was first diagnosed with autism, I wanted to find out as much about autism as possible. That's why I started a support group, because parents are the best resources for information. Everybody, even though you have a child with autism, you meet one child with autism, you met one child with autism. They're similar in certain ways, but totally different in most ways. So went to a lot of workshops, like I said, so that the support group still fills a role in my life. I knew along the way too he needed to be in a better environment academically and socially and with life skills, and that's why the school got started. And so of course a lot of the passion from all of this, of course, from me comes from very personal reason for doing it. I do it for my son, but also you just can't stop there. It has to be for the community too. My son will grow up here, I grew up here, and so you have to, that's why the Achievement Academy is here. For me, for all of these children, I knew next step for him is employment. 90% unemployment rate nationally for people with autism.
I saw that in what you sent me,
Right.
and what occurs to me is, I'm wondering, is that because people who haven't been around a special needs person feel off-put by their eccentricities? Do you think that's it? Or do you think it's because they're unable to perform the functions? Why do you think it is that it's, I mean, 90% is insanely high.
It is insanely high.
Why do you think what's the cause of it?
My opinion, just from what I've learned, I'll just take a step back one moment, and I was the chairwoman of the employment subcommittee under the Nevada Commission on Autism Spectrum Disorders last August, actually, a governor-appointed commission. And being the chairwoman and having a lot of great committee members that from Nevada's vocational rehab, who else was on there? I'm sorry, let me think a second. Opportunity Village here in Las Vegas, some moms, different Nevada, a lady from Nevada PEP actually was part of the committee.
What's Nevada PEP?
Nevada PEP is a wonderful nonprofit organization in Las Vegas. I believe the acronym for PEP, P-E-P, is Parents Empowering Parents, and I believe most of the people that work there are parents of children with disabilities. And they provide parent advocacy, they offer training workshops, a lot of more things that I could even tell you about. They're a great organization to contact, actually, for you. So I had a lot of great committee members on there, and I remember especially the woman from vocational rehab. I asked her why, since that is part of what you do, get people with disabilities employed in Las Vegas. What are you seeing with autism? What is preventing them from being successfully employed long term? And one of the main reasons that I came from that conversation was that it was the people skills. It was those social skills that they lacked. So they could be doing their job just fine.
So they might be able to be a fry cook at McDonald's, but the manager doesn't.
They come across rude sometimes, and I'll tell you a quick story, and I won't mention the woman's name. Really wonderful lady that I met along the way that came to my support groups in her early 30s now, and I hope I remember the story correctly, but she's college educated, was not diagnosed, was self-diagnosed after when she was 30. I can't remember, she read a book or she saw something on TV. It might have been Autism Awareness Month. She recognized part of herself in whatever the description they were describing for someone that had autism. Started doing some research on her own, and realized that she had Asperger's syndrome, and that's why she wasn't able to keep a job. Her first job was in public relations. With autism, she struggled there, ended up getting fired. She's had many jobs since then, but I'll just give you for instance, and I believe she had worked at she's very fashion, loves fashion, worked for a shoe store here in town, and learned the job, was doing great at it till I believe she was taking off someone's shoe, and I think she told them their feet stunk. So I mean, it just they have no filter. What's in their mind comes out their mouth, and unfortunately,
I have that problem myself, but with a little maturity, I'm learning
but
to
that is
keep it in
something that
check.
we teach here at school. You might be able to. Everybody has thoughts. We're not going to take your thoughts away from you. But sometimes what you come out of your mouth either has consequences, and you have to be really careful with that. So we do a lot of role modeling at our school on that. Conversation skills, that give and take, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and why. Let's practice that. As the children, as they're even playing on the playground, if we see them having a difficulty, they're rule learners. Once they learn a rule, they expect everybody to follow that rule. So it's that give
Well,
and
then again,
take.
that's a little unrealistic too, because
Yeah,
the world is full of rule
it
breakers.
is absolutely so. But everybody might kickball, for instance, at the school here. Even though everybody's learning the same game, they might have been taught a different way of doing kickball. So we are teaching our children that flexibility too. It's okay to be flexible and not get upset about something. So we role model that. We play it. We have our own little volleyball games just with our kids from the Achievement Academy, and then work on those things. And then they play with the kids from the school that we're located inside of. So then let's say that's daily
Has
things, right?
has the school whose space you rent,
Right.
have they gotten complaints from their parents?
No.
None.
I have to say, and I'll give you their name. It's DJ's Community Christian Academy. They are absolutely wonderful. The first year, when we were first here, they actually took their parents aside and told them that there's going to be a school moving in that has children with autism, and we're going to tell you about them. And there was a couple parents that were concerned, absolutely rightfully concerned, because they
They
didn't
didn't
know what
know.
to expect.
They didn't know.
Absolutely. But some of those children play with our kids the most now. So they've really great. Their parents are very receptive. The school, the owners, Debbie and Danny, are very accommodating, receptive, supportive of what we do. And
Good.
we're in a great place. We're very blessed to be in this school. We we just started our third year here and started with 3 children. 2 years ago, we're up to 18, and it's a lot of word of mouth from parents. We we understand these children. I walk the
And your
walk.
teachers are credentialed.
The teachers are credentialed. They've had autism experience, and I tell parents too, we are forever evolving as we see things that we're tweaking things constantly. We're adding new programs as we're learning about new programs. That's pretty much, I'm the program director here in addition to be the founder and the president of the school. I spend most of my days networking, talking to providers, learning new things that are happening out there that we can bring into our school. So we're ever evolving in our school. The next logical step, of course, was at Vocational Life Skills Academy, and to really, it's going to be part of our school. An extension of our school is for our high schoolers to go over there and
What
learn
skills specifically do you expect to teach them?
employment, vocational skills.
So, how to fill out an application, how to
how
interview.
absolutely, interview skills, filling out an application, job searching, job sampling, where we are actually collaborating with another autism organization here in town that's sharing this space with us called the Grant a Gift Autism Foundation. Their mission actually goes from birth to 18 years old. As far as they provide clinics and sibling workshops, because it affects the whole family.
No, I know,
They do a
like,
lot of wonderful things in Las Vegas too. Where our missions overlap is that 13 to 18 years old, which is our middle and high school age, where we are actually collaborating on our very first program called TeenWorks. And it is pairing a teen with autism in that 13 to 18-year-old age group with a typical peer and an instructor from our program to do what's job sampling through internships and volunteering. So we're going to be networking with several nonprofit organizations in Las Vegas and Henderson area, where they're going to be able to go maybe 2 hours on a Saturday or after school or during school. We're just developing the program right now. It's going to be our first program. Where we're going to take these teens and out into the community where they're going to learn a job through, like I said, volunteering right now. And that's our first program at the Achievement Vocational Life Skills Academy. The actual center is called the Achievement